Good morning, students. So we'll start with the class. So today the topic which I'll be taking, it is usually pancreatitis. So what is pancreatitis? Pancreatitis, it is nothing but inflammation of the pancreas. Okay, what is pancreatitis? Pancreatitis, it is nothing but inflammation of the pancreas. So this is usually seen in adolescent boys. Okay, it is usually seen in adolescent boys. So this can be chronic or acute. Okay, so this can be chronic or acute. So what is pancreatitis? So pancreatitis is nothing but inflammation of the pancreas. So this is mostly seen in adolescent boys. Okay, it is mostly seen in adolescent boys, and this is usually it may be chronic or acute or chronic. Okay, it can be acute or chronic. So what is happening here? Certain bacteria, okay, certain bacteria usually produces enzymes. Okay, certain bacteria usually produces enzyme which activates pancreatic juice. Okay, which activates pancreatic proenzyme. Okay, which activates pancreatic proenzyme, which leads to autodigestion. Okay, which leads to autodigestion in the pancreatic tissues. Okay, which leads to autodigestion in the pancreatic tissues. So what is happening? Certain bacteria usually produces enzymes. Okay, certain bacteria usually produces enzymes which activates this pancreatic proenzyme. Okay, which activates this pancreatic proenzyme, which leads to autodigestion in the pancreatic tissues. Okay, which leads to autodigestion in the pancreatic tissues. So what is pancreatitis? So pancreatitis, it is nothing but inflammation of the pancreas. Okay, it is nothing but inflammation of the pancreas. So this is mostly seen in adolescent boys. Okay, it is mostly seen in adolescent boys. So this can be acute or chronic. Okay, it can be acute or chronic. So what is happening here? There are certain bacteria. Okay, there are certain bacteria which usually produces enzyme. Okay, there are certain bacteria which usually produces enzymes which activates this pancreatic proenzyme. Okay, which activates this pancreatic proenzyme, which usually leads to autodigestion. Okay, which usually leads to autodigestion in pancreatic tissues. Okay, which leads to autodigestion in pancreatic tissues. And this is what is pancreatitis. So pancreatitis, it is nothing but inflammation of the pancreas. Okay, pancreatitis, it is nothing but inflammation of the pancreas, which is commonly seen in adolescent. Okay, which is commonly seen in adolescent, and this is usually commonly seen in adolescent, and this is usually might be occurring acute or chronic. And what is happening here? Certain enzymes usually activate or produces this enzyme which activates pancreatic proenzyme. Okay, which activates pancreatic proenzyme, that usually leads to autodigestion in the pancreatic tissue. Okay, that usually leads to autodigestion in the pancreatic tissues. So that is usually about this. So next is causes. So what might be the causes for this pancreatitis? So the causes, it can be like any inflammation. Okay, any inflammation that usually causes this inflammatory process in the pancreas. Okay, so any inflammation. So this inflammation usually causes this inflammatory process changes in the pancreas. Next, it can be due to any infection. Okay, it can be due to any infections like viral infection, measles, mumps, hepatitis, Coxsackie virus infection. So that is usually about this. So this infection with this viruses usually leads to inflammation. Okay, infection with this viruses usually leads to inflammation of the pancreas. And next is any metabolic disorders. Okay, in case of any metabolic disorders, there is chances that the pancreas get inflamed. So metabolic disorders like in case of hypercalcemia or hyperlipidemia. So that is in case of any metabolic disorders also inflames the pancreas. And the metabolic disorders which does this, it is mainly hypercalcemia or hyperlipidemia. Okay, hypercalcemia or hyperlipidemia. So that is usually there. And next is drug reactions. Okay, due to any drug reactions also pancreatitis can occur. Drug reactions such as in case of prednisolone. Okay, in case of prednisolone or thiazide. Okay, in case of prednisolone or thiazide, or in case of any disorders. Okay, any diseases like in case of cholecystitis. Okay, in case of any polylithiasis. Okay, in case of any diseases such as cholecystitis or polylithiasis. So that is usually about this causes of this pancreatitis. So what are the causes of this pancreatitis? It might be due to any inflammation. It can be due to any infection with viral infections such as mumps, measles, hepatitis, Coxsackie virus. That is usually there. And next, in case of drug reactions such as in case of prednisolone or thiazide, or in case of any diseases such as gallstones, okay, in case of the gallstones or cholelithiasis or cholecystitis. So in case of metabolic disorders such as hypercalcemia or hyperlipidemia, okay, these are usually causes of this pancreatitis. So next is pathophysiology. So what is occurring in this pathophysiology, how this disease occurs, okay, how this disease takes place. So that is mainly, so in the, as according to etiology, that is due to any inflammation, okay, due to any inflammation, okay, so that is according to etiology, that is due to any inflammation. What is happening, so when the inflammation is occurring, okay, when inflammation is occurring, and this inflammation can be due to any cause, okay, it can be due to any cause. So this pathophysiology starts due to etiology, the etiological factor, that is inflammation, and this inflammation can be due to any cause, okay, the inflammation can be due to any cause. So that usually leads to pain, tenderness and excessive secretion of pancreatic hormones, okay, excretion of pancreatic hormones. So that is due to inflammation, that usually leads to pain, tenderness or excretion of excessive excretion of pancreatic hormones, okay, excessive excretion of pancreatic hormones. So that is usually there. That might lead to autodigestion of pancreatic tissues, as I have told you in the definition. So that is when there is excessive pancreatic secretion of pancreatic enzymes or pancreatic hormone, that usually leads to autodigestion in the pancreatic tissues, okay, that usually leads to autodigestion in the pancreatic tissues. So when there is autodigestion in the pancreatic tissue, that usually leads to vomiting and anorexia, okay, that usually leads to vomiting and anorexia. So this usually, when there is excessive vomiting and anorexia, that usually leads to ascites, hemorrhage or peritonitis, okay, that usually leads to ascites, hemorrhage or peritonitis, and this usually leads to hypervolemic shock, okay, when there is excessive ascites, fluid collection, infection in the peritoneum, inflammation of the peritoneum, or in case of hemorrhage, that usually leads to hypervolemic shock, okay, that usually leads to hypervolemic shock. So that is usually there. So pathophysiology, mainly it usually occurs is that it is due to inflammation, and this inflammation can be due to any cause, okay, this inflammation can be due to any cause. So that usually leads to pain, tenderness and excessive excretion of pancreatic hormone. When this is occurring, okay, when this is occurring, that usually leads to autodigestion in the pancreatic tissue. So this I have told you in the definition. So that is, there is autodigestion in the pancreatic tissue, and that usually leads to vomiting and anorexia, okay, that usually leads to vomiting and anorexia. So when there is vomiting and anorexia, that usually leads to ascites, peritonitis or hemorrhage. So when this three is occurring, okay, when this three is occurring, that usually leads to hypervolemic shock, okay, that usually leads to hypervolemic shock. This is usually the pathophysiology of this peritonitis. So again, once again I'll repeat it. So mainly it is usually seen that it is mainly due to etiological factors, and that etiological factors, it mainly includes inflammation, like it mainly includes due to inflammation. So due to this inflammation, and this inflammation can be occurring due to any cause, okay, this inflammation can occur due to any cause. So that usually leads to this excessive excretion of pancreatic hormone, or they will be having pain, tenderness, and that usually in turn leads to autodigestion in the pancreatic tissues, okay, that in turn leads to autodigestion in the pancreatic tissues, and that in turn, okay, this autodigestion of pancreatic, in turn when there is autodigestion in the pancreatic tissue, that leads to vomiting and anorexia, okay, vomiting and anorexia. So when this is occurring, that usually leads to ascites, peritonitis or this one hemorrhage, okay, so that in turn it leads to hypovolemic shock, okay, that in turn it leads to hypovolemic shock, okay. So this is usually about this pathophysiology of pancreatitis. And this is what is pancreatitis, is nothing but inflammation of the pancreas. So what is happening here, any bacteria, certain bacteria usually secretes an enzyme which usually activates pancreatic proenzyme, that usually leads to autodigestion in the pancreatic tissue. So that is usually happening in this disease. So when there is autodigestion of the pancreatic disease due to any inflammation, that usually leads to this pancreatitis. So that is usually about this pathophysiology of pancreatitis. So next is signs and symptoms. So what might be the signs and symptoms of this disease? So signs and symptoms usually there will be severe abdominal pain, okay, that is usually severe abdominal pain. The pain usually starts in the abdomen area, then it radiates to the back, okay, pain usually starts in the abdominal area, then it radiates to the back, okay. So that is, there is severe abdominal pain, and this pain usually starts in the abdomen, then it usually radiates to the back, okay, radiates to the back. So that is usually there. Next is usually what happens, they become prostration, okay, they become prostration. The child usually becomes prostration. Prostration is nothing but they become extremely weak, okay, they become extremely weak, okay, so prostration, okay, so that is usually they become extremely weak. So next is fever will be there because there might be inflammation, okay, so to do that usually what happens, fever will be there. And next nausea, vomiting will be there, they feel discomfort, okay, nausea, vomiting will be there, and also they feel discomfort. Then bluish discoloration around the umbilicus, okay, bluish discoloration around the umbilicus, okay, there will be bluish discoloration around the umbilicus. Then there will be internal abdominal hemorrhage, okay, so then there will be internal abdominal hemorrhage, okay, so they will be having internal abdominal hemorrhage. So as later on when the hemorrhage increases, they might also have shock, okay, they might also have shock. So that is usually the symptoms that is usually seen in case of pancreatitis. So what are the symptoms that is usually seen? They will be having very severe abdominal pain. Pain usually starts in the abdominal area, then it radiates back, it radiates to the back. Then they might be having prostration. Prostration, it is nothing but they feel extremely weak. Fever will be there, nausea, vomiting will be there, they feel discomfort, hemorrhage, that is internal hemorrhage will be, abdominal hemorrhage will be there, and also they will be having bluish discoloration in the umbilicus area. And then later on the last symptom that is usually seen, it is usually they will be having shock. So that is usually about this different, like these are the signs and symptoms of this pancreatitis. So next, this is about this thing. So next we'll see about the diagnostic evaluation that we'll do in order to confirm with pancreatitis. So what are the diagnostic evaluation we do? It is usually urine test. So in case of this urine test, we are seeing mainly where when urine test is that you can see amylase will be increased, okay, amylase will be increased, okay, urine test when you are doing, so this amylase will be increased. So that is usually there. Then we have to see liver function test, okay, liver function test has to be assessed, where you can see that this SGOT, SGPT will be elevated, okay, liver function test will be done, where you can see that SGOT and SGPT will be elevated. Then serum calcium level will be decreased, okay, serum calcium level will be decreased. This is mainly due to the metabolic disorders. If it is there, serum calcium level will be decreased. Blood glucose level will be elevated, okay, blood glucose level will be elevated. So that is usually there. Then X-ray of the abdomen, okay, so then X-ray of the abdomen should be done. This is a plain X-ray should be taken, okay, plain X-ray it is usually taken. So that is usually about the diagnostic test that we do. Urine test is done, liver function test it is done, blood glucose level is assessed, serum calcium level it is assessed. Then we go with plain X-ray will be taken, that is mainly plain X-ray of the abdomen it is done. So this is the diagnostic evaluation that usually we go in order to confirm with pancreatitis. So this is usually about this diagnostic. So next is management. So what are the management that we go? So mainly management includes symptomatic as well as supportive care is given, okay, supportive care as well as symptomatic care is usually given. So mainly the first thing that we have to go with it is that we have to give complete bed rest to the baby, okay, we have to give complete bed rest to the baby. Next, nothing should be given through mouth, okay, nothing should be given through mouth. Whatever it is given, it should be given through IV, okay, whatever it is given, usually it is to be given IV because the baby is having nausea and vomiting, so there is chance the baby might vomit. So therefore everything should be given through IV. Fluid, electrolyte balance should be maintained and it should also be given through IV. Then nasogastric aspiration should be done, okay, nasogastric aspiration should be done. This is mainly done to relieve distension, okay, so that is usually nasogastric aspiration should be done. So this is done mainly to reduce distension, okay, this is mainly done to reduce distension. So that is usually done. Oxygen therapy should be given according to the condition, okay, depending upon the condition the baby is not able to breathe properly, okay, the baby is unable to breathe, then we go with giving this oxygen therapy. So this depends upon the condition, okay, it usually depends upon the conditions. Then in case of, in order to avoid this infection or infection if it is there, then we have to go with giving antibiotics. Antacid and analgesics should be given if pain, if it is severe. So that is usually to be done. So that is usually the management that usually we go with in order to reduce this pancreatitis. So what are the management that we go? Management mainly it includes supportive care as well as symptomatic care. Supportive care as well as symptomatic care is usually given. Bed rest should be given, complete bed rest should be given. Nothing should be given through mouth, IV fluid should be started. Nasogastric aspiration should be done to reduce distension. Oxygen therapy should be given if they according to the condition, like if the baby is unable to breathe, then we have to go with oxygen therapy. Next, antibiotics, antacid and analgesics should be given. Then we have to go with giving them proper care or proper assessment should be done in order to prevent complications. Okay, proper assessment should be done in order to prevent complications. Okay, these are usually the management that is usually done in order to reduce pancreatitis. So this is about this pancreatitis. So today in this class we have studied about pancreatitis. What is pancreatitis? A pancreatitis is nothing but inflammation of the pancreas. This is commonly seen in adolescent. It can be chronic or acute. So in this, what is happening? The enzyme, certain enzyme produces an enzyme which activates this protein proenzyme that usually leads to autodigestion of the autodigestion in the pancreatic tissues. Okay, autodigestion in the pancreatic tissue. So this is mainly caused due to an inflammation, infection, or due to metabolic disorders. So that is usually seen. So this is about this, and also we saw regarding symptoms. Pain will be there, and also they will be having prostration, fever, nausea, vomiting. So all this thing will diagnostic test. We go with urine test, X-ray, serum calcium level will be assessed. So all this thing it is usually done. Management, both supportive and symptomatic care is usually given in order to reduce this pancreatitis.